We often speak of love as if it is the highest virtue, yet love alone can be fleeting, emotional, and uncertain. Loyalty, however, is love that has learned patience, responsibility, and depth. Today, let us reflect on why loyalty may be the quiet foundation upon which real love stands. When we speak of love, we often imagine it as a fiery, spontaneous emotion, an intense force that sweeps through us, compelling our hearts to beat faster and our minds to dwell on another. Love is exhilarating, intoxicating, and undeniably beautiful. Yet the very nature of love as an emotion is its impermanence. Feelings are fleeting. They rise and fall like the tide, ebbing with circumstances, moods, and misunderstandings. You may feel love deeply one day and feel it waver the next, not because the other person has changed, but because your own mind, heart, and perception are constantly in motion. This is where loyalty enters, a quiet, deliberate force that exists beyond the thrill of feeling. Loyalty is not born of emotion, it is cultivated by choice. It is the conscious decision to stand beside someone, to remain committed, even when the intensity of love diminishes or when life introduces trials that test the heart. While love may inspire a person to act in moments of passion, loyalty inspires action in moments of challenge. It is the steady hand that holds the other up when emotions falter, the calm presence that whispers, "I am here," when the world seems uncertain. Consider this: love may ignite the spark of connection, but loyalty fans it into a flame that endures the winds of doubt, distance, and adversity. A relationship sustained by fleeting feelings alone is like a fragile candle in a storm, bright for a moment, but easily extinguished. Loyalty, by contrast, is the lamp that burns steadily, fueled not by temporary emotions, but by conscious choice, respect, and responsibility. Choosing loyalty does not negate the joy of love, rather, it deepens it. When loyalty becomes the foundation of your connection, love transforms from a temporary burst of emotion into a lasting companionship, one that weathers miscommunication, disappointment, and change. It is the understanding that your commitment to another is not contingent solely on how you feel, but on your decision to honor the bond you have created together. In life, this principle extends beyond romantic relationships. Loyalty, whether to friends, family, or oneself, is the choice to remain, to nurture, to honor, even when circumstances tempt us to abandon what is precious. While love may bring initial connection, loyalty ensures continuity, integrity, and the space for growth. In this sense, love is the inspiration, and loyalty is the discipline, the practice that transforms a fleeting spark into a steady light. So ask yourself, are the people in your life with you because of a passing feeling or because of the quiet choice of loyalty? Reflect on how loyalty can give your love not just intensity, but endurance. I'd love to hear your thought. How has loyalty shaped the relationships in your life? Share your reflections in the comments below. Passion is a magnificent force. It can make hearts race, eyes shine, and moments feel eternal. When we are passionate about someone, the world itself seems to bend toward joy. We notice every detail, remember every word, and feel a sense of connection that seems unshakable. Yet, passion, by its very nature, is like fire. It burns brightly, sometimes consuming everything around it, but it can also fade with time, circumstance, or familiarity. The intensity that once defined a relationship may wane, leaving a sense of emptiness or fear that the bond itself is weakening. This is where loyalty steps in, quietly, unassumingly, and steadfastly. Loyalty is the force that holds the relationship together when passion diminishes. It is the calm that remains after the storm of desire passes. Where passion depends on external stimuli, the excitement of new experiences, the novelty of affection, the thrill of discovery, loyalty is rooted internally, in a conscious choice that does not rely on intensity or temporary feelings. It is the decision to remain committed to someone, not because you feel like it, but because you have chosen to honor and nurture the bond you share. In life, we often mistake the heat of passion for the strength of a relationship. We assume that if the excitement fades, love itself is lost. But in truth, relationships that survive are those built on the quieter, deeper principle of loyalty. Loyalty does not vanish when emotions fluctuate. It persists through misunderstanding, disagreement, and monotony. It is the patience to listen when words fail, the courage to forgive when mistakes are made, and the humility to stay present even when the heart feels tired. Think of loyalty as the anchor in the sea of human emotion. While passion may lift us, sweep us along, and carry us to moments of ecstasy, it is loyalty that prevents us from being adrift when waves crash. It ensures that even when love feels mundane, even when gestures of affection become routine, there is a steady presence, a willingness to be there, to care, and to invest in the growth of another. Without loyalty, passion alone can lead to disappointment, instability, and the illusion of connection without true substance. This principle applies not only to romantic love, but to all meaningful connections in life, friendships, family, mentors, or even communities. Loyalty is the commitment to stay, to honor, to build, and to protect what is valuable, especially when the initial excitement fades. It teaches us that relationships are not merely about the highs of emotion, but about the enduring choices we make in everyday life. So reflect for a moment. Are your relationships sustained only by passion, or do they stand firm because of loyalty? When the initial fire dims, what remains is what truly defines the strength of your bond. I want to hear from you. How has loyalty carried you through moments when passion faded? Share your stories in the comments below. Many people misunderstand loyalty, believing it to be a mere extension of love or passion, a natural emotion that flows effortlessly when we care for someone. Yet feelings are fleeting. They rise and fall like the tide, subject to mood, circumstance, and the passing of time. Passion and affection may surge one day and wane the next, leaving us unsettled and unsure of our bonds. Loyalty, in contrast, is not dependent on the weather of our emotions. It is a conscious decision, a deliberate commitment, a choice we make even when the heart is quiet, distracted, or restless. Choosing loyalty is like planting a tree. In the beginning, there is excitement and energy as you see it sprout, its leaves reaching toward the sun. But as days turn to months, growth slows and the novelty fades. The tree does not stop growing because your excitement diminishes. It continues because of care, attention, and a willingness to nurture it consistently. Similarly, loyalty thrives not when feelings are intense, but when we make a choice to act in alignment with what we value and honor. It is in the quiet moments, the decision to listen instead of argue, to forgive instead of retaliate, to remain present when distraction calls, that loyalty reveals its true strength. This distinction is vital in all relationships. To be loyal is to choose another person's well-being and the health of the relationship above the convenience of self-interest or fleeting pleasure. It is a decision to honor a bond, even when the heart is tired or when circumstances are challenging. Loyalty does not demand that you always feel affection, attraction, or excitement. It demands that you act with integrity, consistency, and care. It is a discipline, a conscious alignment with values rather than a passive surrender to emotions. Consider this: feelings may deceive us. We might feel deeply in love one moment only to feel disconnected the next. But when we anchor ourselves in choice, we create a stability that transcends emotional fluctuations. Loyalty teaches patience, resilience, and the capacity to invest in something enduring rather than ephemeral. It reminds us that relationships, whether romantic, familial, or communal, are built not on the intensity of our emotions, but on the steadiness of our commitment. By choosing loyalty, we discover a deeper, more profound love, one that is not conditional, one that does not vanish with passion, and one that allows growth, understanding, and mutual respect to flourish. It is in this conscious choice that trust is fortified, intimacy deepened, and the bond itself becomes a sanctuary against life's uncertainties. How do you practice loyalty in your relationships, even when it's challenging? Share your experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective on choosing commitment over mere emotion. Trust is not built in a day, nor is it forged in moments of ease. It is cultivated slowly, deliberately, through consistent choices, steady actions, and unwavering presence. Loyalty is the invisible thread that weaves the fabric of trust. Every small act of loyalty, honoring a promise, standing by someone in adversity, choosing honesty over convenience, adds another stitch to this intricate tapestry. Over time, these threads form a resilient, enduring bond that can withstand life's inevitable storms. Think of trust as a garden. If you plant seeds but neglect them, they may sprout briefly, only to wither when challenged. But if you care for them, daily watering, weeding, tending with patience and commitment, the garden flourishes, resilient, and self-sustaining. Loyalty functions in the same way within human relationships. It may not always be dramatic or visible, but each choice to remain committed, to act with integrity, to prioritize connection, nourishes trust. It creates a soil rich enough for understanding, intimacy, and deep respect to grow. What makes loyalty so powerful is that it demonstrates reliability. When someone chooses loyalty, consistently and without condition, it signals to the other person that they can depend on them, not just in moments of joy, but also in moments of difficulty, doubt, or uncertainty. This consistency is the cornerstone of trust. Without it, words may mean little and promises may feel hollow. With it, even the simplest gestures become profound affirmations, showing up, listening deeply, keeping promises, and prioritizing the relationship over fleeting whims. Loyalty also acts as a mirror for vulnerability. Trust grows when we allow ourselves to be known, to reveal imperfections, fears, and doubts. And in the presence of loyalty, that vulnerability is met not with judgment or betrayal, but with steadiness, patience, and acceptance. Trust is reinforced when loyalty remains unwavering, even when circumstances are challenging or emotions are unsettled. It is in these moments that relationships are truly tested, and loyalty either falters or strengthens the invisible bond of trust. Time is the ultimate witness. Trust does not flourish overnight, and loyalty does not yield immediate gratification. But with patience and consistent dedication, the bonds formed are unshakable. They are not dependent on superficial feelings, fleeting moods, or external circumstances. Instead, they emerge from a deliberate choice, a conscious alignment of actions and intentions over time. Through loyalty, trust becomes a living testament to the power of consistency, patience, and commitment. How has loyalty shaped the trust in your relationships? Can you recall a moment where someone's steadfastness deepened your trust in them? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear your reflections on the transformative power of loyalty. Love is often celebrated as the most powerful force in relationships. We speak of it in poetry, in music, in stories that span centuries. And yet, love alone is fleeting. It can flare brightly and vanish just as quickly. It can be swayed by moods, influenced by circumstances, or dimmed by time. Loyalty, on the other hand, reaches deeper. It is a quiet, steadfast force that sustains commitment even when love feels distant or uncertain. Loyalty is the bridge between fleeting emotion and enduring connection. When someone chooses loyalty, they are choosing a path that goes beyond the highs and lows of affection. They are committing to the relationship itself, to the bond, to the shared journey. This commitment is not conditional on passion, excitement, or convenience. It is a conscious choice, a promise to remain, to act with integrity, and to honor the connection regardless of external factors. Loyalty gives structure and stability to love, transforming it from something transient into something enduring. Consider the moments when love alone falters: a disagreement, a misunderstanding, a personal failing. These are tests of the heart. In these moments, loyalty becomes the guiding principle. It inspires people to stay, to listen, to understand, and to work through challenges instead of walking away. Love may provide the spark, but loyalty provides the fuel that allows the fire to keep burning steadily. Without loyalty, even the most intense love can fade, leaving only the memory of what once was. With loyalty, love is tempered, refined, and strengthened. It evolves into something far more resilient. Loyalty also inspires selflessness. When we act out of love alone, we may expect reciprocity, validation, or affirmation. Loyalty, however, asks for neither reward nor recognition. It encourages us to prioritize the relationship and the well-being of the other, sometimes even above our own comfort or desires. This selfless dedication cultivates trust, respect, and mutual growth. It allows both individuals to feel safe and valued, fostering an environment where love can mature rather than merely exist as an emotion. Furthermore, loyalty is contagious. When one person demonstrates unwavering commitment, it inspires the other to rise to the occasion. It creates a dynamic where both partners are motivated to act with integrity, to remain present, and to honor the shared bond. Love anchored in loyalty becomes a practice, a daily exercise of choosing to remain steadfast, even when faced with trials. This is why loyalty is more than a companion to love, it is its sustaining force. How has loyalty inspired commitment in your relationships, even when love alone felt uncertain? Share your experiences in the comments below. Let's reflect together on how unwavering loyalty transforms fleeting affection into enduring connection. Love is often described as the foundation of human connection. We celebrate it, chase it, and sometimes even idolize it as the ultimate proof of our bonds. Yet love by itself is fragile. It is a feeling, an emotion, and as such it can fluctuate. One day it burns brightly, the next it flickers in doubt. Trust, however, is not born from feeling alone. Trust grows from action, from consistency, and from the quiet, steadfast presence that loyalty provides. Loyalty is what transforms love from a fleeting spark into a lasting flame. Think of loyalty as the silent guardian of trust. When someone chooses loyalty, they choose to act with integrity, reliability, and steadfastness, even when it is inconvenient or when their emotions waver. It is easy to love someone when life is smooth, when passions are high, or when circumstances favor connection. But the true test comes in the moments of tension, challenge, or disappointment. It is in these moments that loyalty reveals its true power. It demonstrates that trust is not just about promises spoken, but about actions consistently fulfilled. Loyalty cultivates an environment where love can thrive. When trust is built through consistent, loyal actions, it allows both individuals to feel safe, supported, and valued. This safety is essential because love without trust is vulnerable to fear, suspicion, and insecurity. Trust acts as the vessel in which love can grow, and loyalty is the force that fills that vessel steadily over time. Each small act of faithfulness, each moment of remaining present, adds layer upon layer to this foundation. Love alone may inspire awe, but loyalty builds endurance. Moreover, loyalty provides clarity. When love is tested, when emotions are stormy or unpredictable, loyalty becomes the anchor. It assures both parties that, regardless of temporary feelings, there is a steadfast commitment to remain aligned in values, intentions, and presence. This reliability fosters not only trust but also emotional maturity. Relationships rooted in loyalty withstand the test of time, not because they are immune to difficulties, but because trust has been painstakingly cultivated through consistent, loving actions. In essence, loyalty transforms love from an ephemeral sensation into a tangible reality. It bridges the gap between what we feel and what we can depend upon. Trust, built through loyalty, allows love to be experienced fully, not as a fragile, uncertain sentiment, but as a secure, nurturing force that enriches both lives. And in this we discover that loyalty does not compete with love, it completes it. How has loyalty helped you build trust in your relationships, even when love felt uncertain or fragile? Share your experiences in the comments below. Let's explore together how unwavering loyalty strengthens trust in ways that love alone cannot. We often mistake love for depth. We believe that strong feelings alone, intense passion, mutual attraction, or even the comfort of companionship define the richness of a relationship. Yet emotions are like the weather. They change, they fluctuate, they surprise us with storms and calm alike. True depth, the kind that anchors a relationship through decades of life's unpredictability, is not born from feelings alone. It is cultivated through loyalty. Loyalty gives love substance. It transforms connection from the surface of excitement into the deep waters of enduring trust, understanding, and mutual respect. Consider what it means to be loyal. It is the willingness to show up not only when it is easy or enjoyable, but especially when it is difficult. It is choosing, day after day, to invest attention, care, and respect in another person's well-being, even when the novelty of love has worn off, even when frustrations arise, even when life itself challenges your patience. This is the silent labor of loyalty, the countless small acts, often unnoticed, that stitch the fabric of a deep connection. Each act of faithfulness, each moment of standing beside your partner through the mundane or the turbulent, adds layers of richness to a relationship that mere passion cannot achieve. Depth is experienced in subtle ways, in the unspoken understanding, in the reassurance that no matter the outer chaos, your bond is unbroken, in the comfort of knowing someone sees you entirely yet chooses to remain present. Loyalty is the vessel in which this depth grows. It is the bridge that carries love beyond the superficial thrills of attraction into a profound, sustaining connection. Without loyalty, emotions are like waves upon the surface of the ocean, beautiful, moving, but ultimately fleeting. With loyalty, the ocean becomes fathomless, its depths teeming with resilience, shared history, and unshakable trust. Furthermore, loyalty fosters empathy and patience. When both partners act with loyalty, they are compelled to see the other person not as a reflection of their own desires or expectations, but as a complex human being with fears, dreams, and vulnerabilities. This recognition nurtures an emotional intelligence that deepens connection. The relationship ceases to be a mere exchange of feelings. It becomes a collaborative journey, a living testament to mutual commitment. Depth, therefore, is not something we feel, it is something we build consciously through repeated choices of loyalty over time. In essence, loyalty is the quiet sculptor of enduring love. It shapes a relationship's character, adds resilience to its foundation, and creates a depth that transcends temporary emotions. In a world that often glorifies fleeting passion, loyalty reminds us that lasting connection comes not from intensity alone, but from steadfast presence and unwavering commitment. Have you experienced the depth that loyalty brings to a relationship, even when emotions were unstable or fleeting? Share your stories in the comments below, and let's explore how consistent loyalty nurtures profound, lasting connections beyond the surface of love. We often look at love as something ephemeral, fragile, and fleeting, a spark that either burns brightly or dies out. Yet the most enduring love is not measured by intensity or drama. It is measured by loyalty. Loyalty is what converts the raw material of attraction and affection into something timeless. It takes ordinary moments, mundane routines, and even conflicts, and transforms them into the substance of a lasting legacy. This legacy is not merely the duration of years together, it is the depth, resilience, and meaning that persist long after the excitement of first impressions fades. When two people commit to loyalty, they are choosing to honor each other's existence with consistency, patience, and understanding. This commitment becomes a force that withstands the erosion of life's challenges, the disagreements, the disappointments, the misunderstandings, and the trials that inevitably come. Every act of steadfastness, every choice to remain present and supportive, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, builds a repository of trust and mutual respect. Over time, this repository becomes a living testament to the power of loyalty, something far more profound than any fleeting passion. Loyalty, in this sense, transforms love from a personal experience into something that resonates beyond the immediate relationship. It creates a legacy for others to witness, for children, for friends, for society. People learn by observing, not through lectures, but through examples. They see what it means to be committed, to stand by someone through adversity, and to honor the promises made not just in words, but in deeds. In this way, loyalty elevates love from the private to the universal, shaping the way relationships are understood and valued in the wider world. Moreover, loyalty deepens self-understanding. When we commit to being loyal, we confront our own limitations, insecurities, and impulses. We learn to temper self-interest with compassion, to prioritize connection over convenience, and to act with integrity even when it is difficult. This inner growth amplifies the quality of love, transforming it into a force that is not merely reactive to emotion, but proactive in creating enduring meaning. It is in this process that love becomes a legacy and influence that outlives momentary feelings, transcending the immediate to touch lives in ways both subtle and profound. Ultimately, loyalty teaches us that the value of love is not measured in dramatic gestures or fleeting passion. It is measured in quiet consistency, in the deliberate choice to be present and reliable, in the courage to honor commitment even when circumstances tempt us otherwise. Love becomes lasting not when it is perfect, but when it is loyal. And this loyalty, the steadfast presence of one human being to another, is what transforms love into a lasting legacy, a gift that endures across time. How has loyalty shaped your own relationships, transforming simple affection into a lasting bond? Share your experiences in the comments below, and let's explore together how steadfast commitment turns love into a legacy that transcends time and circumstance.